Well, of course, I went to the University of Texas El Paso, UTEP, and I was practicing after practice one day, just doing a move, and I went between my legs, crossed in front of me, and it felt good to do that. And I kept doing it in practice because I wanted to practice it before I brought it out in the game. And once I did it on a couple of teammates in practice, did it in games, and then I did it on Magic, and she said, hey, you got to kill a crossover.
I learned how to shoot the hook shot when I was in grade school. And it's just something I started working on when I was 10 years old. And by the time I got to high school, I had mastered it, and it was a very effective shot for me, and one that could not be blocked. So from that point on, from high school on, I used it regularly, and it was a very effective weapon for me to use all throughout my career.
Well, I've always been short. It was natural for me to go up against tall players all the time. You know, shooting up over them, shooting throwers up over them, going to the hole, getting in between them, passing them to a guy for a three-point shot. So it was always a custom for me to just do those things because I was always short. Well, I was fortunate to have two great coaches. One is Don Nelson and one is Pat Riley. Don Nelson had a unique style of basketball. He wanted to run and gun and try to be the team with the most points in the NBA each year. And I had fun playing that way. And then as my career got down the line, went to Pat Riley, and with a big man in Alonzo Mourning, and Kareem could contest this, that you know, Pat Riley's a defensive-oriented guy, and playing, you know, defense wins championships. And at Golden State, we had fun playing, but without a big man and without playing defense, we wasn't going to win. But you know, being with Pat Riley, we had a chance to win every night, and we was well prepared. So I was best of both worlds. And don't worry about me being short. I've been short all my life, so it doesn't faze me.
To win the world championship, they continually had to improve. Throughout the season, they kept learning new things to do to win games and to dominate play. So I thought that you know, as the season went on, things really fell in place. They got new players that came in and helped. Talking about Shannon Brown, great player that they got in a trade. So there were a lot of things that happened that made them successful. Everything seemed to work for them. And you know, I think that right now is a great young center. I think with experience, he's going to become one of the very dominant centers in the NBA.
Well, yeah, I wore Adidas. When I first came to the league, I wore Converse because in college we wore Converse. And then I switched to Adidas because they were a better shoe. And Nike approached me after my second year in the NBA. And I liked their shoes, I liked the gear, and I liked where they was headed. And you know, they got some nice stuff.
Well, for me, my most favorite moment was beating the Boston Celtics in 1985. That was the first time that the Lakers were able to beat the Celtics in the World Championship competition. And I was able to have a very good championship series and was the MVP. So for me, that was the best part of my career.
Well, the guys that I played with, had fun playing with, you know, Ron TMC, of course, Chris, Mitch, and myself, you know, averaging 25 a game, all three of us. And you know, I keep in touch with Latrell's pretty well. He lives in Milwaukee still, and I see him every once in a while when I'm back in Chicago. He's doing fine. And of course, Alonzo Mourning. Having center. I never had a center. I never played with a center. So playing with Alonzo Mourning and accomplishing things that we could accomplish with Miami Heat, it was fun.
Well, in order to play center, you have to have certain physical gifts to be able to dominate the game right in front of the basket. Unless you have the size and reach, it's going to be a difficult task to dominate the play right in front of the basket. But if you have those physical attributes, learning how the game evolves right in front of the basket, and knowing that